basketball. I don't know if you know this, but I actually played a little basketball myself in high school in the Metro League. It was known back then for Archbishop McDonald. And it's a great game. I absolutely love that game. Even I think I love it as much as I love hockey. So it's a great sport, and you're a guy that has played a long time. And I want to talk a little bit about your career. But before we get to that, you're doing something that's really neat. And it's a community initiative, as you describe on your website. It's called the Pride of Northside. Why don't you tell my listeners what it's all about?
Okay, well, the Pride of the Northside, as you mentioned earlier, is a community initiative. I grew up in North Edmonton a number of years ago, and I played a lot of street basketball. And with this tournament, what we're trying to do as a staff is inspire our youth in the community of North Edmonton. For a number of years, we've had a negative stereotype related to North Edmonton, and what we as a community, as a family, as a people have been trying to do is change that image and also to inspire our youth to think outside of the box. This isn't like your typical basketball tournament where, you have teams come and they play some basketball and then they leave. We want our kids to see how their community can be transformed, how families and teachers and principals can come together, and how we can have a fantastic event in their own home. We've been going for about 5 years. This will be the 5-year anniversary. I've really stepped up this year as the director, and we added a great number of people to our staff to really help our community as well as inspire and promote Edmonton basketball in the city.
Well, it's a great idea, and I love that we're working in the community you grew up in. We're talking with Andrew Parker about the Pride of Northside tournament. Now, I'm looking at your divisions. I believe there's 3 different divisions, 13 to 15, 15 to 18, and then, of course, the 18 and over division. I'm sure they're all competitive, but is there a spot for everyone to play in this tournament?
Absolutely, and with our tournament, we kind of left that door open so that if a girls team wants to come in, they can put a team in. If there's a co-ed team, they can put a co-ed team in. If you have a couple guys you played in high school with, if you're an alumnus, you can enter the tournament. And if you just want to play for fun, number of members from our staff have made it so it's competitive for those who are competitive and recreational for those who are recreational.
Now, obviously, there's the tournament, but then also there's some kind of fun other things going on. I believe there's some. There's a dunk champion, a three-point contest champion. Now, what kind of dunks will we see in this event, or could we see?
Well, a lot of the people who follow the Edmonton basketball community know that I kind of made my name through slam dunking. I modeled my whole entire basketball game after Vince Carter when he was doing the between-the-legs dunk, and that was kind of my jump-off point into the basketball scene in Edmonton for the past 12 years. So the slam dunk competition is going to be incredible. We have some celebrity slam dunkers such as Clayton Crellin, who played at Nate, Daniel Cabella, who played at SAIT. My brother Stephen Parker might be involved, Matthew Cardosa from the University of Alberta Golden Bears, who's one of the greatest athletes we've ever seen at the U of A. We also have a number of street basketball players coming in to show the city the amount of athleticism that we have, and it's going to be exceptional, and the three-point contest will be exceptional as well. We have some great University of Alberta and McEwen guys coming out to shoot the basketball, so I think it's something the city can really enjoy.
Now, if someone wants to register a team and get involved, where can they find information about the great Pride of Northside basketball tourney and more than that, community initiative you're putting on?
Absolutely. Well, there's a number of ways to connect with us. We have a Facebook group page. The group page is AGP Hoop Event, so it's very simple to find. They can follow my fan page on Facebook as well. It's just Andrew Parker, very simple. And we just launched a website a month ago. That's www.andrewgparker.com. And you can find all information related to Pride of the Northside on there. It's very simple. And if you just want to get quick updates, you can follow Twitter, and that's Andrew Parker AGP, and just type in the words Pride of the Northside or hashtag PONTS.
Well, it's a great place. Check it out, people. I really encourage you to do that. Now, Andrew, listen, we know, basketball is a sport that's growing in there, but when you started playing, a few years ago in the North Side, talk about, how did you develop the passion that you have, obviously, that is so obvious for the game of basketball?
Whether it's North Edmonton or Millwoods or on the west side there, a number of kids learn the game of basketball by just walking outside of their house and playing on a street ball court. And that's something I really, really identified with. And I, of course, when I made it to the University of Alberta, I was one of the first, if not the first, street basketball player to play for a university or a college. So it was something very tremendous for me, and something I held closely to my heart was starting on the street ball courts with a number of guys who didn't have the opportunity to go to, the big facilities or, a chance to play on community league teams. So the only option they had was to play on the street ball court. And I learned a lot on that court, and that's the reason why I want to really give back. And actually, I don't even want to give back. I want to give forward so that some of these kids not only will enjoy their time, but when they get to my age, when they get to 30 years old, they'll become outstanding ambassadors of their community as well as outstanding gentlemen and gentlewomen.
Andrew, it sounds to me like you're talking about, I don't know if this is the right way of putting it, but a non-traditional way of learning the game. You learned it by practicing on outdoor courts. You didn't have like that, perhaps the coaches that maybe, like you mentioned, a community league would have.
Absolutely. I started out playing in the community leagues, but for the most part, sometimes basketball, it can get tough to afford for some kids. And I really enjoy just the street ball aspect that I just take my basketball and go play ball anytime I want.
Okay.
I didn't have to take the bus. I didn't have to go and hop on LRT. I didn't have to, get my mom to drive me all over the place. I could just go to the outdoor courts and work on my game. And that's what a lot of kids are doing right now at Londonderry courts as we speak. They get up in the morning, they grab their basketball, and they go out to those courts and they shoot hoops. And they have a lot of hoop dreams. And what I want is for them to see all these university players, college players, the media, and Edmonton celebrities to come down to these courts and watch them play. And it would mean the world to them the same way it would have meant the world to me.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. Now, you had an interesting career. You mentioned you went to play Concordia, had a lot of success there. You went to University of Golden Bears, and you're actually named the most valuable player in the 07 Golden Bears Invitational Tournament, a very good tournament. But then after that, you got your bachelor's degree, you leave Alberta, University of Alberta, and you decided to go professional. You played in some pretty interesting places, but talk about playing in Germany, Brazil, and France. Was that a great experience?
It was one of the greatest experiences I've ever had. And actually, I just did an interview with the Edmonton Examiner in which they asked me what were the most important moments in my life. And I mentioned graduating from UVA, graduating from Emile Lazert, and getting my first contract to play professionally. I mean, going to Germany was outstanding. The people there were excellent, and trying to learn German was a feat, believe me. And right after trying to learn German, I went to Brazil. So I went from speaking German to speaking Portuguese. And then after I went to Brazil, I went to France to train my cousin Jermaine Buckner, who plays for the Canadian men's national team. So I went from about 3 different languages, and I completely lost them all. So it was a little bit of a culture shock, but at the end of the day, the people in each and every one of those countries and cities were amazing, and they really warmed up to me. And I can't say enough about playing overseas basketball. It was some of the best times in my life.
We're talking about the great sport of basketball, sport I absolutely love, and I still play to this day. With Andrew Parker, he's running a tournament this weekend called the Pride of Northside. Andrew, you mentioned you play in the different countries. Does each country kind of have their own style or way of playing the game of basketball?
Absolutely. As soon as I went to Brazil, I noticed how physical they were. And even the referees, they didn't call a lot of fouls down there. So I really had to revert back to my street ball tendencies where you have to fight for every single one of your points. Okay. And you have to be a lot tougher. So I think, it took me a little quicker to adapt to their game than it would a person who's never played street ball before. And in Germany, they're very excellent passers and very team-oriented. So, one person who scores 20, that's not very common. It's more so where the points are distributed evenly and that each player touches the basketball, and each and every player from 1 to 15 to the bench were all involved some way. So, there's very different ways of playing the game. And in France, it was very sensational, like the amount of players. We had a lot of Americans, a lot of NCAA players, so it was fun to see all of those types of basketballs and how each country was very unique in how they approached the game. Andrew
Parker, Edmonton Energy player, and you're also a coaching collegiately at MacEwan University. How's that been for you, and has it been challenging?
It's been great for me, actually. It's a way for me to stay competitive within the game. I haven't played overseas for a while now, and I actually just got married 3 weeks ago to my lovely wife, Kendra, and my life started to head in a different direction. I actually enrolled back in school at the University of Alberta to get a degree in education so that I could actually coach at the high school level as well. But coaching at MacEwan has been excellent. The players and Coach Eric Magdans have been extremely caring and helpful to me in my coaching experience. And this will be my 3rd year with the team, and I think we're going to have an excellent year, and hopefully we'll end with some national championships on our banners.
Now, when you're talking about the Grant MacEwan team, when do teams start practicing? Are there practices before the university or the scholastic time starts, or does it start after that?
Well, actually, there is the period of summer where, some of our guys do go home. Some of our guys enroll in summer courses. So there is about 3 or 4 months where our guys are basically on their own. They have their workout regimen. They have a few training sessions, but nothing really concrete until about September. So we're going to start, I think, first week of September. We had just a little get-together last week just to talk about goals, etc., do a little bit of fundraising, but we're going to start right up in September, and then we'll start playing in October. So, we give the guys a little bit of time, and it's basically the off-season. Same thing for the pros. Like, we have a couple months just to get your body right, take care of all the little nicks you have on your knees and your ankles, maybe work a little bit, and then we get right back to business in September. So, our guys are ready to go. I've been seeing them in the gym. I've been in the gym all summer with them, just lifting weights, and I know they're ready to go for this year.
Andrew Parker, one last one for you. Let's just go back to where we started about with the Pride of Northside. Once again, what's the tournament about, and where can people find information to sign up a great team?
Okay, well, the tournament is a community initiative, as I mentioned earlier. All we want to do is inspire all of the youth in Edmonton. Although it's called Pride of the Northside, and it is the tournament location is in North Edmonton, we want to invite the entire city. We want to invite our friends from Mill Woods, from Spruce Grove, from St. Albert to Sherwood Park, to West Edmonton Mall, to South Edmonton Common, to East Edmonton, from Capilano. We want everyone to come and experience our street ball culture, and also to donate. With the proceeds from this tournament, we'll be going to David Adamakwanta and the Dunk on Disease Foundation, helping kids at the Stollery Hospital. And they can find out everything they need to know about the tournament at www.andrewgparker.com.
Well, I'll tell you what, good luck with the tournament. It's going to be a great thing. People go and check it out at those websites and hopefully get some good weather. You know what, though? Congratulations. You're doing great things for the north side there. You deserve a lot of credit for that. Good luck to your tournament, and we'll talk to you again soon, Andrew. Thanks for the time.
Thanks so much, Jason. Have a great night.